On Pulling Power this week, top chef Gordon Ramsay takes a bite out of a cobra. We get a taste of life in the fast lane with London's unsung heroes. And Formula One test driver Darren Manning finds out whether two engines are better than one. Plus the latest on our 40-quid car.
Some cars are born beautiful, and some cars aren't. Some cars have performance, and some don't. But what these cars lack in looks, they more than make up for in moves. Because yes, these cars can dance. Lowriders, as these bonkers cars are known, have their roots in the good old USA. But the craze has now bounced its way to Britain. When they're not boogieing, these cars are all street legal. But once safely off the road, there's no stopping them.
Watch me now.
When you get out to places, car parks or, go cruising somewhere, you can do the moves then, and that's what it's about. It's crowd reactions, really. You see people laughing, then you see people who just can't quite understand what's going on.
So, how do you teach your car to dance? UK lowriding pioneer and hydraulics guru Ian Sheriff reveals all.
The basic principle of fitting hydraulics to a car is that you replace the springs with a hydraulic cylinder, and you've got a switch inside the car then, so you can use that to lengthen the cylinder to lift or drop the car, and you can go on to have anything up to a dozen switches to be able to move each corner independently and each side, do almost whatever you want with the car.
In lowrider jargon, it's known as adding juice to your ride. But how much does customising your car with hydraulics actually cost?
A basic hydraulic system for the front of a car is going to start at around £500, and it can go up to £3,000 or £4,000 depending on what moves you want to get out of the car at the end of the day.
Let it flow, let yourself go, slow and low, that is the tempo.
Lords is the first lowriders club to hit the Midlands, and they've already enjoyed huge interest at shows up and down the country.
It's when you're doing the three-wheel, that's when people really take notice, and they look twice, they just can't believe it, cruising along on three wheels, but it's a good buzz, that's what I like about it.
And unlike other custom car crazes, lowriding has never been about speed. These guys just want to cruise, low and slow.
So you've got your car juiced, you've bounced yourself silly. Where on earth do you go from here?
All my friends know the lowrider.
This is Sweet and Sour, a 1985 Pontiac Grand Prix and Britain's first true American-style lowrider. It comes complete with gold plate, fabric interior and an awesome 22-coat iridescent paint job.
So how long did it take you to build this one then?
Well, I took 8 months off work. Well, I just lived in my garage.
Locked yourself away, like Caractacus pots?
Yes, definitely. It's my chitty chitty bang bang.
A founder member of the Diplomats Lowrider Car Club, Kev's been instrumental in getting the scene off the ground in this country.
You must get so much attention in this.
It does draw a crowd, yeah.
Yeah. Why did you choose orange?
So that it stood out against everybody else's car. Yes.
And do you let many people come into this car with you?
I don't mind, providing they're not muddy. Yeah.
Everyone gets a once-over.
Yeah.
Take them out, get showered.
Yeah, got to be clean.
As if driving around Birmingham's Star City in a bright orange Pontiac wasn't attracting enough attention, Kev kindly offered to show me some moves.
Right, ready?
Yes. Now why? What is the joy in that? Please tell me. Scream if you want to go faster. You could charge a fortune if you like a funfair ride. Oh no, you'd have to clean everyone on the way in. Not funny anymore.
There's only so much lowriding a girl can take. I think I'll sit the next dance out.
In tonight's Fifth Gear, the ultimate super saloon shootout. Jaguar's S-Type R versus BMW's M5. Britain's best value small car, the Ford Ka, and hot rods, warming up nicely in Tamworth.
You thought they were extinct, but they still exist. The product of weird genius, hidden from the outside world.
Hot rods? Are they still going? What's the point? Ah, that's the point.
Rodding is a culture away from the rest of car world, and is very much alive and well. It's all about the quest for creating something unique, be it brighter, faster, lower or louder.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
The Spring Nationals sees hundreds of hot rods meeting in a big field, creating the coolest campsite you've ever seen.
Now this is what I think of when I think of a hot rod. It's technically called a street rod. You're looking for separate fenders, a flat windscreen, anything that's pre-1949. And this one's worth about £9 grand.
But my favourite bit is the fact that the tyres almost meet in the middle. The sit-up and beg style is very popular, but there was one in particular that kinda stood out.
So, your Metal Flake Mick, now, did you actually know it wasn't 1974 anymore? I mean, that's brilliant, but it's completely bonkers.
Yeah, I paid a fortune to have some flames put on my last car and thought, well, I'm not going down that road again. And I just got myself a Chinograph pencil and just started drawing and thought, I can do this. And then just added the mirror flake in with the lacquer, cans of lager in late nights, and that's what happens, like.
Even more striking is what's under this car bra, a 1934 Ford three-window coupe, which is, to say the least, very red.
So, your name's Frank and you're a fireman.
Yes.
And they call you Fireman Frank, and you've been borrowing some of the firm's paint, have you?
It looks like it.
So what's this one? How much is this worth?
It's insured for 30,000. It actually cost about 35,000 to build.
Ouch, and what's it won?
It's won everything, every show in England. It's national champion 2 years running, and it's won best in Britain 2 years running.
Move into cars from the 50s and 60s and you get to this. Now this is a custom with a K. Here, looks are everything. It's got to be the lower the better. And if your lines aren't as smooth as a baby's bottom, then you might as well forget it.
Hi.
This 1963 Ford Consul Capri has apparently been fully nosed, decked, de-seamed and shaved, and is owned by Mr. Custom, Kevin Rooney.
So how come all the fancy paint then?
That's recreating a period of 1960s in America when they were experimenting with paint finishes, lacquers, candies, metal flakes as the roof is. It's died out on the custom side, but the lowriders have kept it alive.
Cue the lowrider then, a 1985 Pontiac Grand Prix.
OK, Kevin, so we've decided why we've got a padded roof lining, but what is this all about? How does this work?
Well, it's a boot full of hydraulics, similar sort of stuff as what you find on tail lifts on lorries and that, and all that's plumbed into the suspension, which enables us to dance.
And look at this paintwork. How long did it take you to mask out all of that?
The patterns took 7 full days. The paint job took me every day for 7 weeks. And there's 30 gallons of lacquer on this car.
30 gallons of lacquer?
I can't tell you how many times I rubbed it down.
So, Kev, can I have a go then?
No.
Can I have a go at that then?
Definitely no.
What happens if I press that one?
You die.
OK, you're right. If you just want to go really, really fast, then you want one of these. It's a street machine. Big wheels, small block, big cubes, and hey presto, a drag racer on your driveway.
The best example is this money-no-object 300 horsepower Ford Roadster. The beauty isn't just skin deep, because it's even cleaner underneath. Boy, these things are really starting to get to me.
I want to be an engine.
Although they have got to some people even more.
You're wobbly and you're called Bob.
Yes.
So you're Wobbly Bob.
Yes.
What are we standing next to?
My Bedford.
Your Bedford?
Yes.
A Bedford CF van?
It is a Bedford CF van.
But Wobbly Bob, why?
It's an evolution thing. I've owned it for many years.
Yeah. How long?
25.
25 years with the same Bedford van?
The reason he's not bored of it is probably down to the supercharged Rover V8 slap bang in the middle. and Bob keeps a set of slicks on board just in case. His best quarter-mile time is a Ferrari frightening 13 seconds. The commercial vehicles you really ought to get into, though. He was done for 3 years, particularly rare stepsiders like these. And check this out for £3 worth of bonnet. Finally, style rods that go for a circuit racer look. This work of art engine bay belongs to, believe it or not, a Ford P100. Hot rods aren't about buying off-the-shelf bits and bolting them on. They're about talented owners demonstrating engineering excellence and are shown to a standard that puts most classic concours winners to shame.
I've had a wicked day playing with hot rods, and I've finally found somebody who'll let me have a go. How cool is this? That's brilliant. I'm going to get one.
Coming up shortly on MTV Base, it's The Lick with me, Trevor Nelson. Hot videos from Styles, Jersey 1A featuring DMX, RL, Damage are live in the studio. And if you're into your cars, check out our Lowlife 2002 package. Our classic comes from a deadly collabo. We give away tickets also to Ja Rule and Beanie Man. You've got to stay tuned. Now, a few weeks ago, while some of the crew was still lounging in Napa, meaning me, Dylan and John went down to Bristol to the PlayStation 2 Lowlife 2002. Yes, I said it, the Lowlife 2002 event. That's why we sent them. That's not a description of the locals, of course, but of an event celebrating cars in the UK that like to bounce. Remember seeing Ja Rule's first video, Holla? Do you remember that? Yeah, that sums up what I'm talking about. The ones that go up and down, you know, one wheel tilted, kitted out alloys, brightly coloured hip-hop blaring out the trunk. No one understands me? Roll the VT.
What is low riding? Yes, that's a difficult question. It's everything from a guy can go out and buy a Volvo, straight Volvo, tatty bodywork, and you can stick a hydraulic setup in it. Someone can build a full-on, like some of the cars down here are full-on American-style, absolute blood, sweat and tears cars with thousands of pounds worth of hydraulics and paint. That's all low riding, but low riding is not just about owning a car or a low rider bike. It's a kind of outlook on life, really. It's about taking it slow and not getting there too quick, but getting there in style.
Low riding started in the States very early 50s. The Mexicans and the Hispanics wanted to start going to car shows, and one of them struck on the idea of filling the boot full of bags of sand so that the back of the car would drag along the ground. And then somebody thought of going to a military scrapyard, ripping the hydraulics out of a Dakota and sticking them on the car so they could lift it up so it wasn't scraping when the police came along.
PlayStation supported lowrider events because it shows like it's an alternative to car culture, and we've always been about supporting counterculture from skateboarding, BMXing, breakdancing. So this comes from the same school.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got love for the streets.
I used to listen to Cypress Hill, Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Underground Kings, and the cars are actively used within that musical group of people, and that inspired me to build a car as well.
And of course you're watching the movie, stuff like that, you've got Boys in the Hood, a lot of the Impalas there, lowriders, hip-hop videos.
What inspired me to get into lowriding was I've always had a thing for old cars, and why not old cars that get you noticed? Call me a show-off. I am.
I think I first got into lowriders, I was a bit bored about the bikes, wanted to make something a bit different, and this is where we are now in 2002 with this bike which we made for Cypress Hill and Sony.
One of the main reasons I finally got around to building the car for myself as opposed to other people is I finally got divorced, so now I haven't got a wife to pester me, and I managed to build my car.
runs on state-of-the-art air suspension system that lifts the thing from 0 degrees on the ground to about 3 inches cruise height.
6-inch cylinders up front with 4-ton hopping coils, and in the rear 14-inch cylinders with 3.5-ton coils.
The paint is 99 Nissan Almera Tropical Green with a bit of gold underneath to give a bit of a different shine.
They're Formula One non-vibration mirrors, they just don't move.
Inside the car there is 52 square metres of orange Draylon and countless mirror tiles.
Chrome arch kits, a fiberglass spoiler kit all the way around.
Front, back, left, right, side to side, pancake up and down, and all the corners, all the moves.
I gotta go cause I got me a drop top, and if I hit the switch I can make the ass drop.
Yeah, anybody that wants to get into lowriding, the best way to do it would be to come along to as many shows as you can, talk to the guys that are there with cars, decide what sort of car you want yourself, and then get stuck into it.
American cars like this are relatively cheap. You can pick them up for under £1,000. You can start off with a small hydraulic system. You could be on the road for £2.5 grand, £3 grand tops.
If you're interested in getting involved in low riding or that lowrider scene, absolutely do it. Doesn't matter what you ride, what you drive, it can all be dropped and slammed, it can all run hydraulics, it all can run air.
This car's cost me in the region of £10,000 to build, and in that there's no labour costs because I built the whole car myself. If I was to farm it out, it would have probably stood me in at about 25,000.
Like this, that and this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this, and we ain't got no love.
Okay. Bitchin', fussin', cussin'.